everyone, it's Michelle. Long time no see. What can I say? I've been enjoying summer a whole lot. But I had to sit down for today's video because I have not filmed something like this in almost 2 years. The last one I did was back in December of 2021, and I'm talking about a skin update, a video where I talk about my progress and my clear skin journey in relation to acne and acne scarring. It's been almost 2 years. A whole lot has happened since. But before we get into it, for those of you that are new to my channel, hello, my name is Michelle. I am 32 years old and I have dealt with some type of acne since my pre-teens. It's only been in recent times that I've finally figured out why I break out so terribly in the first place. Yes, I still break out, but what I know now is that it's most definitely within my control to prevent it. And this is where this type of content comes in, because I started making update videos back in 2018 when I first started using a prescription strength vitamin A product, which was 0.1% dappling. And throughout the years, I have increased my prescription strength since, and have also updated along the way what I'm doing with my acne scarring. I have had old atrophic acne scars for over 10 years, and it's due from previous bouts of cystic acne breakouts. So when it comes to having problematic skin, suffering mentally, emotionally, I have most definitely been there, and I hope by sharing my clear skin journey, it gives those of you watching encouragement that it does get better. Your skin will get better, but you need to be realistic about the outcome. Everyone's journey is going to be different, but having clear skin will most definitely be an outcome for you. If this is your first time watching a skin update video, I highly encourage you to watch all the previous skin update videos I have done so it can provide further context into this one. I'll leave a playlist to that in the description box down below. Let's get into my skin update, starting off with the topic of acne. Now for this point, I want to address my 2-year usage of 0.1% tretinoin. This is the current vitamin A prescription I have been using in my skincare routine around 1 to 3 times a week for the past 2 years. The first year I tried to use it on a nightly basis, and then I reduced the usage, and I'll get into that in a second. So tretinoin, vitamin A, the most talked about active one should have in their skincare routine. Sort of agree with that, sort of do not. I'll explain my stance later on. But anyways, this particular prescription strength, 0.1%, has been in my skincare routine for the past 2 years. Cumulatively, I've been using some type of vitamin A prescription for 9 years. 2023 is my 10th year using a vitamin A prescription. In terms of 0.1% tretinoin, it is still my all-time favorite active I could ever use in my skincare routine. I primarily use it for controlling my acne. It helps to prevent any breakouts. Even if I have active breakouts, it actually helps to calm the inflammation. When it comes to the anti-aging, the well-aging, I notice it does a great job at refining my skin texture, not making it look 100% smooth, but it definitely looks smoother. I visibly saw a difference in the first month of using tretinoin in general. Also, alongside this skin refinement, I noticed my pores looked a lot better. Any pigmentation I would rather not get after a breakout, I find it helps fade it a lot faster. Basically, post-red acne marks have not been a concern of mine for many years, especially since I started using vitamin A consistently back in 2018. But in regards to tretinoin, it has most definitely kept up that benefit. The reason why I decided to not use tretinoin nightly anymore is because I found it was just a continuous struggle and I was tired of it. After almost 5 years of using a vitamin A prescription and constantly increasing the strength, I was just tired of having constantly red and irritated skin, essentially. When I got the 0.1% tretinoin strength, my skin was just constantly red, felt dehydrated, felt dry, skin was rough to the touch. It felt like there was no end to the acclimatization of a retinoid, but once I reduced the usage to 1 to 3 times a week, I still got the benefits of using a vitamin A product without the negative side effects. My skin as a result normalized. It was less red. If my skin is inflamed, my pores tend to look larger, which is not what I want from a retinoid. That is like taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So reducing my usage turned out to be the best thing I could do in my skincare routine. So I save more product, my skin's happier, I still get the benefits of tretinoin, and I need less product to counteract that irritation. With all that said, as much as I love vitamin A in my skincare routine, it is not the end all for healthy, clear skin. Healthy skin goes beyond products alone. Lifestyle most definitely plays a factor, but I'm going to be saving that for a different video. I just want those of you watching looking at getting a prescription strength retinoid to know that this really does help, but it's not the end all. And for those of you watching that are considering using a vitamin A in your skincare routine, I would say you don't necessarily need it if you're just trying to start a skincare routine in general. I would say just cleansing, moisturizing, and SPF will do the trick. I would say the most primary skin concern one should have in their skincare routine is to just maintain the skin's moisture balance. You do not need an active to achieve this. Moving on to the second skin update, which is about my atrophic acne scars, what they are like now that it's been over a year and a half since my last CO2 Fraxel Laser session. I did both a recovery vlog and a review of the procedure after getting 3 sessions of it. If you are interested in any of that content, I'll leave a link to them in the description box down below. Again, I highly suggest you check them out because it provides further context into what I'm talking about in this video. But long story short, because in my past I had a couple of bad cystic acne breakouts, at the time I did not know how to manage my acne properly. I did not know any preventative measures, how to tackle active acne and post care. As a result, I had scarring. They got old. They were over 10 years old and they were difficult to remove. Topicals, while maybe some may help, it's definitely not enough. I did at-home microneedling. Helped a bit, still not enough. So I decided to get one of the best procedures possible for dealing with my old atrophic acne scars, and that is CO2 Fraxel Laser. So like I said, I did 3 sessions. Last year, after 6 months of my last session, I did a review on it and a before and after of what my skin looked like. What I can say now that it's been over a year since that review, the results are still the same. My skin is still smooth. The acne scars have not appeared again, which is what I expected and really thankful for. I would say I do notice my pores look a bit nicer for sure. Maybe it's because I'm also doing a simpler skincare routine. My skin is not as inflamed, which in turn does not exacerbate texture on my skin. But I also feel like the 2 indented marks that I had on my face, which were quite obvious in previous videos, I feel like they look a lot more subsided. Let me just zoom you all in. Now that I'm zoomed up close and using a high quality camera, of course you can see it, but in my day-to-day life, looking at myself in the mirror, I don't notice it. I don't even notice a lot of the texture that I still have on my face. The CO2 Fraxel Laser, it wasn't 100% at getting rid of my scars, but it definitely did help with the appearance. In previous videos, if I were to like angle my face in any way, I felt like you can always see the texture on my skin. It wasn't like terrible. I know I make it seem bigger than it is. When I look back, it's actually not as bad. It's all in my head at how bad it was. But at the time, it did look more obvious in certain lighting, whereas I find now it's not that obvious. Even in the worst lighting, I don't really notice my acne scars anymore, which is thumbs up for me. In terms of anti-aging, I don't really have wrinkles on my face. I mean, I have a little one here and here, but they don't bother me a whole lot. Editing Michelle here, I completely forgot to mention this point in this part of the video. I also believe I did not mention this in my CO2 Fraxel Laser session review video, but there was quite a deep wrinkle that CO2 Fraxel Laser helped with, and that was a sleep wrinkle. I was developing a wrinkle right here on my face because I am a side sleeper, so over time I was noticing it more and more. When I smiled like this, I know this is awkward, but you could see here it's no longer like a dip like that from the wrinkle. It's now filled in nice and round. So that was one major wrinkle that CO2 Fraxel Laser definitely helped with. I would say the anti-aging is more on my neck because I did get the procedure on my neck as well. I had bad tech neck, years of just terrible posture and looking down at my phone. Posture is such a big deal, by the way. My mother and mother-in-law, you know, they're in their 60s. Their necks look really nice and smooth because they have good posture. Whereas I never did. I'm trying to improve it even now in my early 30s. And whenever I look at my phone, I'm trying not to look down like this. I'm trying to look at it like this. Make sure my neck is nice and straight. Again, posture, very good. And because of that, I find that the results I got from the CO2 Fraxel Laser on my neck still look good. I feel like the quality of skin on my neck still matches my face. Nice and smooth, not wrinkle free. It's never gonna be wrinkle free, especially if you're expressive and you move around. But I think my neck looks really nice. I have no complaints by any means. The only active I use on my neck is a peptide, so the Niod CA-IS3 when I do rotate that in my skincare routine. Otherwise, it's just the non-active type of stuff that I use on my neck mainly, and tretinoin only on my face. Even though I was super happy with the results from the CO2 Fraxel Laser sessions, I still felt the need to go further and do some at-home maintenance with my acne scars. I do find tretinoin in general, vitamin A in general, to really help with skin refinement. In turn, it makes any acne scarring look better. But I felt like I wanted to go back to using a chemical exfoliant, which is the original active I used in my past before I reintroduced vitamin A back into my skincare routine. Glycolic acid in particular and alpha hydroxy acid, hands down one of the best topicals I've ever used when it came to smoothing out my skin and the acne scarring. Because I have that very distinct memory of using a chemical exfoliant in relation to acne scars, I wanted to reintroduce an alpha hydroxy acid chemical exfoliant back into my skincare routine. In one of my empties videos this year, that's when you saw the Ordinary's 10% lactic acid serum. I decided to go with that instead of glycolic acid, which personally I think is a bit better, but my skin could not handle the strength anymore since using vitamin A. So I decided to use lactic acid. I first started using it once a month, then I upped it to twice a month, and I did try to do it once a week as a treatment while using tretinoin about 1 to 3 times a week. I would only use it weekly depending how frequently I use this, and I would only use it during the colder months when I wasn't as out and about, exposed to the sun and the elements. For the results, I did notice my skin looked really nice and smooth as expected from a chemical exfoliant and frequent usage. But it also looked raw. It did not look like I had a healthy layer of skin protecting my face, and I most definitely noticed that my skin became more sensitive to the products I typically use in my skincare routine. It was like going 2 steps forward, 1 step back when I reintroduced a chemical exfoliant in my skincare routine and tried to use it more frequently. That is when I caught myself and realized that I once again was trying to do too much in my skincare routine, and I stayed stuck in this endless pursuit to clear skin, which by the way doesn't exist. Do not believe in anything you see online. There's no such thing as filter beautiful skin. This is real skin. Can you see? Texture, wrinkles, fine lines, pigmentation, pimples. This is real skin. And I really came to terms with that after once again impairing my skin barrier by trying to do too much. I just had to acknowledge that while using a chemical exfoliant in the past served me really well, it just doesn't now. It makes my skin unhappier, in fact. So I decided to stick with using my tretinoin prescription as my main active that helps to normalize my skin's desquamation, the normal skin shedding process, paired with a simple skincare routine. And I find that my skin's not only happier, but my texture looks really good because I'm not constantly impairing my skin, which in turn emphasizes the texture on my face. When it comes to my acne scars, even though they are not 100% gone, they are a hell of a lot better than what I started with since having those bad cystic acne breakouts. And I'm truly thankful that I finally took the plunge, invested in the time and money for CO2 Fraxel Laser, and this is the result I got. That brings me into the final topic of this skin update, which is my mental health and new approach to skincare. So doing the 3 CO2 Fraxel lasers and just really liking the results I got, I feel like I finally have been freed from the acne of my past. I no longer see myself as someone with problematic skin. Yes, I get the occasional breakout, but I don't think of myself as someone with bad skin. I really feel like I got a second chance. Alongside the CO2 Fraxel laser sessions, I also found that simplifying my skincare really made a difference in my skin quality and health. Again, I just noticed my skin's way less inflamed. I need way less product. There's something that happened, like my skin just made a switch almost. It's like, okay, it finally stopped being irritated. It finally stopped feeling like it was constantly dehydrated. My texture looked better. I can't even remember the last time I wore concealer. Maybe at the beginning of this year, I think, but I've pretty much not reached for any type of face product since other than highlight. Also, if you've watched my previous content, in 2022, I did a low buy challenge to help reduce my skincare collection, just try to use up what I have, reduce my spending, and just overall get rid of the clutter. I've just not really been into the latest trends of skincare. I don't really care about having the latest and greatest actives or all the actives in my skincare routine. And I don't care to have this lengthy multi-step skincare routine. I've just really come to appreciate simplicity. I definitely like skincare still. It's not like I'm gonna stick to a rigid 3-step skincare routine, but it's good to know that my consumption habits have changed for the better. My wallet is definitely thankful for it, but most importantly, my skin is thankful as well. Alongside the CO2 Fraxel Laser, the low buy challenge, the simple skincare routine, I find one of the most noticeable differences for the better in my clear skin journey was when I started to focus on my health and well-being at the beginning of this year. Like I said, I am in my early 30s. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So I really made it a point this year to get back on track, rediscipline myself into good, healthy habits. I've been consistent about this since mid-January, and now that it's about 6 months into the year, I've really noticed a difference in my overall health. I feel better. I think I look a lot better. I like how I look a lot more. And as a result, I feel like this has tackled my acne more holistically. I feel like my skin is a lot calmer, more clearer, paired with a simple skincare routine. It's like my skin's the best it's been in a long time. Yes, I still get breakouts. There's no question about that. Again, I still know what caused this breakout. It's a lot of gelato. But even with this breakout, I come to you now on camera with nothing on my face. I only have brow makeup on, mascara, and some lip product on. Otherwise, my face is clear from product. By the way, all my previous videos, I always share with you what my skin looks like in that point in time without any makeup on my face. Like I said, I find even with this breakout, my skin just looks calm still, looks clearer. The breakout itself is not as big and angry as it has been in the past. I use the same products, if not less products, so I really attribute this healthier complexion to the fact that I am now focusing more on my overall health. I do want to dive deeper into this topic of health and lifestyle, but I'll save it for a separate video. If I include it in this one, it would be way too long. But in short, the 3 main habits I've been doing for the past 6 months that I feel like have contributed to clearing my skin more holistically have been: 1, eating whole foods 90% of the time; 2, charting my cycle to understand my hormones; and 3, leading an active lifestyle. By focusing on my health and overall lifestyle, I feel like my mind has shifted for the better. I did make a video on mindsets for skin and mental clarity. Since that video, I feel like I progressed so much more. In return, I have clearer, healthier skin. I don't feel the need to hide it behind makeup anymore, and I just like myself a whole lot more in general. Although I've seen the extent that skincare can do, I am forever grateful for it. It helped tackle the skin problems I had in the moment, while giving me inner peace and the mental capacity to think beyond products when it comes to clear skin. That is it for this video. As always, I hope you find content like this helpful and informative. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to my channel down below for future videos. Please leave a comment letting me know how your clear skin journey is going, whether or not we have the same skin concerns. I'd love to read about it. That is it for this video. See you all soon. Ciao.